What's up? What's up? What's up, my Mind Your Money business folks? It's me yet again with another video. A video that I have decided to do at the last minute. Even though it is late here, it is almost 10 p.m. and I should be in bed. Actually, I'm supposed to be off tomorrow, but I may go back in because I forgot to put on my out of office reply on my emails. So yeah. All right, so either way, this has nothing to do with the stock market and all about the way that we think. It's a continuation in the book that I started reading a little bit out of yesterday, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I told you guys all about the story about, Mr. Darby and his uncle, how they were 3 feet from gold, so on and so forth. How sometimes you just have to keep going. You have to ask for help. And you have to keep pushing yourself, remain persistent. Even though Mr. Darby had failed with the gold mining, remember, he later became a successful insurance man. And you would never find a successful person out there who did not experience any type of failure. But what they did not do was give up. They did not give up. They kept going. They kept pushing forward. So it's the same thing with investing your money. It's the same thing when it comes to living below your means. You have to give in order to receive. You have to give up something. It may be your time. It may be the thrills of experiencing things right now, waiting to experience it later. You will appreciate it later on down the road. Vice, when you're in your 20s and 30s and you think you have to, go on these elaborate trips and buy these expensive cars that is putting you in tons and tons of debt. Either way. So this is titled, You Are the Masters of Your Fate, the Captain of Your Soul. Because you need to understand, your thoughts are what's controlling your feelings. And based upon how you feel, it drives the actions that you take. If you're thinking nothing but bad thoughts, you do bad things. If you're thinking good thoughts, you do good things. Pick one or the other. But just understand that negativity is it's more fun. Or, doing things that you're not supposed to do, it's a little more of an adrenaline rush. And doing things the right way is kind of boring. Like making money isn't all that flashy. It's a slow process, It's not all that glitz and glamour. Drinking some tea. So either way, so let's get into this, right? Because I hope how long is it? Oh, it's not that long. So it says, when the English poet W.C. Henley wrote the prophetic lines, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul, he should have informed us that the reason we are the masters of our fate, the captain of our souls, is because we have the power to control our thoughts. If you are thinking negatively, you can easily change the way that you think. You do have control over that. We just don't realize it. When you think a certain way for a very long time, when you think about changing or when you want to change, you feel trapped. Your thoughts and your feelings make you think that you're trapped and there's no way out, and you're trying to figure out why can't you change. That old programming, that old way of being, the people that you're still hanging around, the environment that you live in, is holding you captive. And you have to change that. You have the power to do so. And then also, if you're thinking negative all the time, and that big feeling that really holds people back is that 4-letter word, fear. Fear will keep you in your place. Nobody has to put chains on you. No one has to keep you in bondage. When they get you to thinking negatively, it causes you to feel a certain way, and then it causes you to act out negatively, and you have nothing but fear. Fear keeps you from investing because you think investing is hard. You think investing requires you to be smart. No, that's not true. But either way, it says here, he should have told us that the ether in which this little planet floats, in which we move and have our being, is a form of energy moving at an inconceivably high rate of vibration, and that the ether is filled with a form of universal power which adapts itself to the nature of the thoughts we hold in our minds and influence us in natural ways to transmute our thoughts into their physical equivalent. For a very long time, I had no idea what this meant. I used to read this. I was like, what now? They're talking about the ether and vibrations and, nature and floating through our minds. Again, think of this like a television station, a radio station. You're in your car. You can't see those radio waves, right? But you can tune your radio station to that frequency to hear the music that you would like to hear. What you don't understand, and what I choose to believe to be true, these negative thoughts that keep popping into our mind, sometimes it just hits us. It's like we just tap into it. You don't know why. You just wake up in a bad mood thinking about bad things. You're tapping into that negative frequency, right? And just like that radio station that's playing music that you don't want to hear, you change the channel. We need to learn, or people need to learn, you need to learn how to change the channel when you start having these negative thoughts that flows through our mind. And a lot of times it flows through our minds because that's what we watch on television all the time, whether it be the news, movies, the music that we listen to, the conversations that we entertain, the people that we hang around. It can be so negative to where that negativity floats around you all the time, and you tap into that very often, and it keeps you stagnant. It keeps you remaining and feeling and thinking that you're trapped. That's why we're always minding other people's business, because we don't know how to mind our own. So if the poet had told us of this great truth, we would know why it is that we are the masters of our fate, the captains of our souls. That's why I say the answer is you. You're trying to find your true self, in my opinion, right? He should have told us with great emphasis that this power makes no attempt to discriminate between destructive and constructive thoughts, that it will urge us to translate into physical realities thoughts of poverty just as quickly as it will influence us to act upon thoughts of riches. I came from poverty. I didn't want to continue to believe that was my life. So I started trying to figure out how to do more for myself, how to get riches. I tapped out of that frequency, and now I'm tapping into the frequency of riches. I'm investing. I'm living below my means. I make a good income. I receive, rental income. I receive retirement income. I'm tapping into something different. I choose to hang around different people, like-minded individuals, others that are doing better than me. I don't entertain negativity, right? It's like a car. A car can take you from point A to point B with no problem. A car can cause you to do good deeds for other people, deliver items. Or you could do something destructive with that car, like what happened in Louisiana. It's all about what frequency, what vibration, what thoughts you're choosing to entertain, which causes you to feel a certain way. Then it also, because that feeling causes you to act out, right? It also says here, he should have told us too that our brains become magnetized with the dominating thoughts we hold in our minds. Like I told you, like attracts like. There are people that you meet, you're like, there's something about that person I don't like. Or you meet other people like, oh, I like you, there's a vibe, right? We can feel that. It's magnet, or however you like attracts like. If a person does drugs and they travel to a different country, they will find where the drugs are in that new country or in that other state. They will find what they're looking for. You find what you're looking for, right? by means with which no one is familiar. These magnets attract to us the forces, the people, the circumstances of life which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thought. I know this has nothing to do with investing, but I'm telling you, this has everything to do with the way that you think. The way that are you thinking good thoughts? Are you thinking positive thoughts? I know people who are thinking good thoughts. I can observe them. I can listen to their conversation. I can listen to you and can tell from your conversation and things that you talk about what vibe you're on, what frequency you're tapped into, the way you see the world. And I would know right then and there if you're someone that I would want to be around, right? But being a poet and not a philosopher, Henley contented himself by stating a great truth in poetic form, leaving those who followed him to interpret the philosophical meaning of his lines. Little by little, the truth has unfolded itself until it now appears certain that the principles described in this book, Think and Grow Rich, hold the secret of mastery over our economic fate. Like, how are you seeing the world? I'm telling you right now, the United States is the best country you will want to live in the world. And people are making a mockery of it. They're causing problems. Everyone's having problems with one another, not realizing how good they have it. Most Americans have not traveled out of America. They've never traveled out of the state that they live in. You need to travel the world. There's a reason why people are dying to get into our country, because we haven't lived there. You know, like a lot of situations and things, people don't miss something until it's gone. You got to take advantage of this while you can. So it says here, another man who exemplifies being a master of his fate is Steven Spielberg, one of the all-time great motion picture directors. He dreamed of being a movie director from childhood. He began making amateur films with a primitive camera when he was still a child, and the dream never subsided. Your childhood is very important. Our childhood is what shapes us. It's like, that's why you need to be careful with the words that you speak to people, especially your children, because words are powerful, people. A lot of our handicaps, a lot of our problems in life and the way that we think when it comes to negativity comes from things that were said to us. Like if you ask your parents, like, why do you do this? Don't worry about it. Why do I have to do this? Because I told you so. Then you just stop asking questions because you never get an answer. Then you left to go out into the world to figure things out on your own, and then oftentimes you become a lot like your parents. You know, like who instilled those negative beliefs that we have in ourselves that has trapped us? That's why therapy is good. Like if you ever see a therapist, you thinking that you're going to see your therapist about what you're currently going through, and they always take you back to the beginning because they're trying to show you, like, your problem just didn't start 3 or 5 years ago. Your problem started a long time ago. Issues in your childhood, right? But it says here, how Spielberg broke into Universal Studios is a legend in the movie industry. He took the Universal Studios tour, an attraction that enables visitors to get an inside look at the movie business. Visitors ride around the studio lots on a train. Steven sneaked off the train, I never knew this, and hid between 2 sound stages until the tour ended. When he left at the end of the day, he had made a point of saying a few words to the gate guard. Day after day, he went back to the studio for 3 months. He walked past the guard, waved at him, and he waved back. He always wore a suit and carried a briefcase, letting the guard assume He was one of the students with a summer job in the studio. He made a point of speaking to and befriending directors, writers, and editors. He even found a vacant office, took it over, and listed his name in the building directory. I never knew that. Only Steven Spielberg could do that. Back then, whatever year this was. It had to have been a long time ago. Okay, he made it his business to get to know Sid Sheinberg, the head of production for the studio television's arm. He showed him his college film project, which so impressed Sheinberg that he put the young man under contract with the studio. His first full film, The Sugarland Express, received critical acclaim and won a Best Screenplay award at the 1974 Cannes Film Festival. Unfortunately, it did not do very well at the box office. His big break came a year later when he discovered the book Jaws. The studio had already decided to produce Jaws and had chosen a well-known director to film it. Spielberg desperately wanted to make this movie. Despite the financial failure of the Sugarland Express, his self-confidence had not diminished, and he persuaded the producers to dismiss the chosen director and give the film to him. It was not an easy assignment. From the beginning, trouble beset the production. It ran into technical difficulty and budget problems. However, when Jaws was released in June of 1975, it enjoyed twofold success. It broke box office records, and the critics loved it. Within a month of its release, the film had taken in $60 million at the box office, an unheard of amount at that time. Over the next few years, Spielberg directed several movies, including the popular Indiana Jones series, the award-winning The Color Purple, and Empire of the Sun, and E.T. He later directed Jurassic Park, which would also become, at its time, the most successful movie in history, the third Spielberg's film to break the record. It also brought in over $1 billion in gross receipts, toys, and other merchandise. Spielberg continues to pursue his dreams when he had two other Hollywood moguls created their own production. When he and two other Hollywood moguls created their own production company, they called it DreamWorks. Dreams. You can have awakened dreams. You don't have to dream only when you go to sleep. Your dream, what are you thinking about? What are you visualizing for yourself? What are you thinking? What are you seeing yourself accomplishing? Do you see yourself investing your money? Do you see yourself living below your means? Do you see and visualize yourself becoming debt-free? What are you dreaming? What are you thinking for yourself? You need to know. You have to be specific. That's what I've learned from Reverend Ike. You can't just say, I want to be happy. How do you want to be? What do you need in order to be happy? You can't say, I want a lot of money. No, how much money do you want? And then oftentimes when people get what they want, when they see how it all works, they set another goal for themselves, and then they put in the work to obtain that goal, right? Steven Spielberg, in this, he had a dream. He was visualizing this stuff from childhood. He went on a tour. He got off of the tour and snuck around, and either way, he became a director. He's still directing movies. Okay, so we are now ready to examine the first of these principles. Maintain a spirit of open-mindedness. You have to be open-minded. You have to be, what's the word? Optimistic. You can't keep saying the world is going to hell in a handbasket. If that's your outlook on things, then your world is going to hell in a handbasket. You're going to be stressed out a lot. I don't look at the world that way. God, the creator, however you want to see it or choose to believe, did not create this for it to go to hell in a handbasket. However, you can choose hell or you can choose heaven. You can choose peace or you can choose chaos. You have to make the choice. The choice is yours. You just don't know. And I do understand most people just don't know that they have that much power and control over their lives. That's why we have a lot of professional victims in the world. Everything is someone else's fault. We have yet to take accountability over our lives and what we're experiencing, especially as adults, right? We can't keep blaming everything on someone else. At some point, you have to man and woman up and make a decision. And the problem is most people don't want to make a decision. They just want to do whatever they want. And so whenever you don't make a decision and whenever you don't have a plan, then you have to just take what life gives you. And oftentimes, if we have to take what's given to us, it's not what we really want. So it says here, the principles we gathered from the life experiences of more than 500 men who actually accumulated riches in huge amounts, men who began in poverty with little education or influence. In order to have and get what others have, you have to do what they have done. And in order to do what they have done, you need to research, find out, learn it, or find someone that's living and have them mentor you. Why are you like stressing yourself out trying to figure all this out on your own? Read a book. Read a book. Find a mentor. Do it. They have no problem sharing information. No problem. That's the misconception. Like we're taught like money's the root of all evil. So everybody with money, those of us that don't have it, think that something's wrong with them. No, you just think something's wrong with them because you don't have what they have. Right? In my opinion. So it says here, the principles work for these men. So if it worked for them, it can work for you. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter if you have a college degree. It doesn't matter if you didn't finish high school. If you do what these people in this book did, you can have what they obtained and even more. But you have to figure out what you want. You may not want what they obtain. You may want just a certain amount, a smaller amount. It's up to you. The choice is yours. Right? So it says here, the principles work for these men. You can put them to work for your own enduring benefit. You will find it easy, not hard to do. It says here, I want you to know also that the relationship between these two men, right, and myself is such that I could have taken no liberties with the facts, even if I had wished to do so. What relationship is he talking about? Oh, hold on. Oh, it says here, before you read the next chapter, I'm sorry, I missed a part. I want you to know that it conveys factual information that might easily change your entire financial destiny, as it has so definitely brought changes of stupendous proportions to two people described. I want you to know also that the relationship between these two men and myself is such that I could have taken no liberties with the facts, even if I had wished to do so. One of them has been my closest personal friend for almost 25 years. The other is also my own son. Oh, so that's Napoleon Hill's friend and his son. The unusual success of these two men, success that they generously accredit to the principles described in the next chapter, more than justifies this personal reference as a means of emphasizing the far-flung power of this principle. And the principle in the next chapter is called desire, the starting point of all achievement. that can't be farther from the truth. I'm not going to read it, but I can say I agree, because that's what started me out on my journey. As a child, I had a desire for more, and I take it back when I kept saying like I was poor. I say I was poor because I always wanted more, and to me, I just didn't. I wanted what I wanted, and because I couldn't get it, I had a problem with that, right? So I could not wait to become an adult so I can get the things that I wanted, the things that I feel or I felt or that I deserve. I think we all should be able to get whatever we want, but you have to have the means to do it, right? And so that's what I wanted for myself. Because of what I experienced, I wanted more. So I had a desire, for more. And then when I saw opportunities for me to obtain more, I took that opportunity. I was thinking about it. It made me feel a certain way. It caused me to act. And then when I saw opportunities, I took it. Your thought causes you to feel. Your feelings causes you to act. And then you get what you get. You get what you get, people. So yeah, that was pretty good. Again, it's all about the way that you think and mastering your soul. The master of your fate, the captain of your soul is you. Your thoughts. What are you thinking when it comes to investing? What are you thinking when it comes to lowering your debt to income? What are you thinking? What do you think about money? Is it evil to you? Is it a bad thing? If so, why do you work? I think what's evil is for people to transition out of life and then they leave a burden on to those that are left behind when you have no money to bury you, when you have nothing to leave behind to your kids or your grandkids. I think that could be considered evil, right? But I do understand, it is what it is. That's how I choose to see it, right? I don't need to apologize for it. That's just how I see it. But yeah, so maybe on weekends only, or after my stock market reviews, will I read more from these books. I'm telling you, these books helped me out tremendously, because it helped me realize how skewed my thoughts were when I thought that I wasn't smart. It's like I kept running into this wall and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get over it. It's like I wanted more, but I kept running into this wall. And the reason why I kept running into that wall, that invisible wall, right? It's like I had these invisible balls and chains strapped to my ankle, and it held me in place. And it held me in place because I was in a prison. I was trapped here. My way of thinking. You can't want better out of life and you continue to live the same, especially if you're not doing that well. So if you're not doing well, then you need to change this. You need to download some new thoughts. You need to download, you need to get rid of that old programming, that old way of thinking. It's not working. If it's not working, then you need to find out what does work. And reading this type of information, because I didn't have anyone telling me this stuff, when I started reading these books, when I started listening to people like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, Joseph Campbell, what's his name? James Allen, Joseph Murphy, Wallace D. Wattles, Napoleon Hill. When I started listening to those people and I started reading their books, it felt like they were talking directly to me. I needed to hear what they were saying. I needed to hear. Like, I've read this book before and I've forgotten. It's been a while. So that's why it's good to also to reread these books, because there are times where, you may forget something, or you may read something differently that you didn't read the very first time. It speaks to you. It helps you see things differently. It helps you think differently as well. I'm telling you right now, the people that I grew up with, the people that I went to high school, they don't recognize this person. I guarantee you, they don't recognize me, because this isn't the person that they interacted with. This is a changed person. This is someone with a renewed mind, a new way of thinking, a new way of understanding, which causes me to operate differently in the world, where they're catching hell and I'm doing okay. I'm not doing great. I mean, life isn't perfect. Life is going to be lifing all the time. Nothing's perfect, but I'm not thinking as negative as I used to. And again, money is only one aspect in this thing we call life. And like I've told you guys about this book by Florence Scovel Shinn, it's called The Game of Life and How to Play It. This life is a game, people. I would say the creator of this life, God, whatever you guys want, whatever you guys want to call it, we have free choice. And he did not, in my opinion, no, I'm not going to say that. Either way, the choice is yours. Either you're going to do good or you're going to do bad. You really do have control. You just don't realize it. And I understand that people don't realize it. That's why you need to listen to content like this. You need to seek some of those authors that I spoke of. There's so much free stuff on YouTube that you can listen to. All those authors that I just mentioned, their audiobooks are online. I have the physical books. And I started reading a lot when I went to Afghanistan. That's another story. But either way, so yeah, hopefully this makes sense. It has everything to do with the way that you think. You need to have a dream. You need to start visualizing yourself. You need to have feelings behind that. You need to be grateful for where you're at. You need to figure out what the problem is, because first realizing that there's a problem, that's the first step. And then now you need to figure out and start thinking about what needs to be done in order to fix it, right? And what you need to do. Trust me, when you try to fix your life, thoughts and ideas are going to start coming to you. It's all about paying attention to those thoughts, which is going to make you feel a certain way, and then you need to act. It's not going to be easy, but it needs to be done. And I will say, the older that we get, the harder change is, because we can become stuck in our ways. That's why if we can, teach our kids right, when we know the right way, they can turn out better. But when we don't know any better, we don't teach them any better, even though they're smart. There are a lot of broke smart people. There are a lot of broke educated people. There are a lot of broke there's just a lot of broke people. There are a lot of unhappy rich people. There are a lot of unhealthy rich people. There are a lot of unhealthy broke people. It's like you have to figure out how to play this game and make it work for you. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. But there's always a but. As long as you start, that's all that really matters. Sorry, so I'm going to end this video because I need to go to bed, because I'm probably going in tomorrow, even though I'm supposed to be off. All right, so as always, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think, if you think anything at all. And if you don't want to hear any content like this, just drop a comment below. If it doesn't resonate with you, maybe I need to start another video, another YouTube channel where I talk only about this stuff. But I think it all ties in together when it comes to investing in the stock market, the way you think about stocks, the way you think about investing, trying to figure out why you're not investing, why you are afraid to invest. Because this is how I see it. This is how optimistic I am. Even if the stock market crashes, and things go down, I'm not worried. I'm going to continue to invest. I'm going to buy the dip, because every time the market goes down, whether it be COVID, whether it be the housing market in 2008, 2007, 2008, whatever, it always bounces back, right? So again, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think. If you think anything at all, you guys have a great day, blessed day. Thank you. Peace.